Okay, I want to make a video explaining one of our new features, which is Rule Overview. This is a new component in the Rule Maker tool set, and I want to explain how it works and what benefit you might get out of it. When you go into Rule Overview, you're going to see 4 tabs, and I'll be going through these tabs, explaining what they are. The first thing you're going to need to do when you load this page, you're probably going to see nothing. You're going to see a blank page, because the first thing you need to do is load the data. There's a lot of transfer credit data behind these charts and pages. So the first thing you want to do, and you might want to do this periodically, is to refresh the data. You don't have to do it a lot, but just maybe periodically. Basically, you're going to click Run Process to reload chart data. That's going to launch Process Monitor. It's going to kick off the process, this process here, and you'll see this running. When this runs to success, basically you can just close this window, and there's a little pop-up that tells you what it's doing. And what it's doing when it's running is reloading this data here. So let's just pretend that process is completed. I think it's probably still running. Yeah, so let's just, we'll let that process run. I'm going to go ahead and go over these tabs here. And so the first tab is Credit Using a Rule. And so the whole purpose of Rule Overview is to allow you to have kind of a bird's eye view, a strategic view of where your rules, your transfer rules are being applied or where they're not being applied, so that you have some idea where your greatest return on time is going to be when you build rules. And so the first tab is Credit Using a Rule. So this would be a successful scenario. This is transfer credit, course credits automated, that's been awarded, already been awarded using rules. And so it's broken down by school and subject area. So you could see, like here, Long Beach City College history courses, that's the external subject, are the most commonly articulated courses in my demo environment. Well, there's 7 of them, but you'll obviously, in your environment, you'll have hundreds. Long Beach City College Math is the next, with a total of 6. And you can see on down. Now, when you run this in your environment, you're going to probably have way too many rows of information here. So we put some filters at the top here. One is to filter by count. So I'm going to say remove from the chart anything with less than 3 rows. So you can see my chart refreshed. I just enter a number and tab out of the field, and the chart refreshes. Make sure we're recording here. Okay. And so that's how you can kind of limit. You usually want to only see larger numbers. And then the other thing you can do is change the chart type. You could change it to a pie chart, any other visualization that you want, maybe a horizontal chart. So you can see, again, what the most commonly used rules are. The other way you can filter is by articulation term. So you might want to focus on, you've been awarding credit for a couple of decades. You may want to only focus on more recent activity. So you can pick a recent articulation term, and it'll refresh the data. Okay. Now, the 4 tabs are the same in the way they work. First one's credit that's been awarded using a rule. The second is credit having no rule. So this is credit that you've awarded, course credits automated that you awarded, for which we do not find a rule. So these are candidates most likely for what you want to go ahead and build rules for using Rule Maker or some other means. So you can see Long Beach City College Psychology. I have 38 students that I've awarded psychology credit to from Long Beach City College. And so I may really want to focus on that for building rules. Again, I can filter by the number of rows. So by the count. So now I only want to see schools and subjects that had more than 5. So that'll help me narrow down. And again, I can filter by our tick term or change the chart type. Okay. Then rule with no credit applied. So these are transfer credit rules for which I have not awarded any credit. And so this is kind of flips it around to say maybe I'm building some rules unnecessarily or maintaining rules with not a lot of return on my time. So you can see here for Cottonwood High School English, I have 14 rules and I've not awarded any credit. And Apache Junction High School Independent Studies, 13 rules and no credit awarded. So I might want to just deprioritize these. Swarthmore College Physical Science, whatever that is, 8 rules and no credit awarded. So again, just another view of that. And then finally, course credits manual. So this is not course credits automated, but course credits manual that I have awarded. And so this helps me see, again, I might want to start focusing on these for creating rules. So again, I can kind of narrow down. I only want to see row counts 3 or greater. And so you can see I'm awarding a lot of manual credit to Berklee School of Music, Cambridge College of Art, and this generic transfer school. And again, I can filter by our tick term, and this helps me figure out where I might want to focus to build rules. Now, the one part of this I haven't described is this analyze. If I click on this, it's going to generate, and that analyze appears on all the tabs. If I click on it, it's going to launch 2 analytical pages for me that will let me further get a look at my data. So in this case, this is my my manual data, and I launched it because I launched it from the 4th tab here. So whatever tab I launched that from, that's the data that's going to be related to that. So this is my manual data, and this allows me to even further filter down. So basically, I could drag fields and say, okay, so I have 191 course credits manual. 190 are undergraduate, and I can start to break down by subject. I can choose heat map, so to focus, to highlight that. So you can see I have 50 undergraduate math, and you can just, here's by a source org name. So this is the school name. So now you can see I really have a good sense of where the patterns are. And you can see, for example, that my generic transfer school math and statistics have 10 course credits manual. And so with my pivot table, and here's my course number, and you can see I can, there's a lot of things I can do with this pivot table to start to drill into these numbers. If I want to see the underlying data, I can just click on the cell. So if I want to see the Berklee School of Music 100, I can just click on the cell and it'll show me the data under that. So that's one of the analytical tabs. The other one is our 3D modeling. So this is transfer credit manual by articulation term. And so again, I'm going to want to filter this down. I can zoom in and out with my mouse. I can also rotate. It's 3-dimensional, so this allows me to see, and it's by articulation term. So it allows me to see patterns over time and really where my highlights are. So you can see that transfer school in term 610 had 6 credits manual. Cambridge College of Art in term 410 had 6. And so again, I can filter this down. So if I filter my chart first and then I click analyze, then it's going to show me only what data is in my chart. So I filtered it down, and we'll give this a second to come back. So there's my filtered results. You see I only have two, that's also by articulation term. I only have 2 rows there. So you can see now City College or Cottonwood and City College of San Francisco. And so my point is that my articulation term 3D model also responds to my Let me just say 0000. Going to refresh this with 3 or greater, and now I ought to see some more rows returned in my analyze frame. There might be some other reasons I'm not getting that many. Oh, it's let's wait for this. There it is. So there's my list of schools narrowed down, and again I can see, and so I could see here that my Santa Barbara, I think it's my blue line here, my Santa Barbara line peaked in the term 410, and then you can see it dropped off. It dropped down after that, whereas I had a spike in, so this one here is University of Sydney. You can see I had a spike in accounting here. Anyway, so I just wanted to explain these analytical tools, and that's an overview of the Rule Overview tool. And we're happy to start adding some analytics into RuleMaker, so that, again, the idea being that you could be targeted and strategic in terms of what rules you're focusing on.